Governor Godwin Obaseki's exceptional leadership in driving significant improvement in the state's ease of doing business and overall business environment has attracted investors, stimulated economic growth, and positioned Edo State as a preferred destination for investments.
Edo is one of Nigeria's best kept secret in terms of an investment destination. First, its location. It's so centrally located. You cannot go from the west part of Nigeria to the east or to the south, or even to the north without going through Edo. So that advantage of location means that so much can happen here because people will always pass through. So if you make Edo attractive enough, as they're passing through, they'll stop and spend money or make investments. So you have to make Edo attractive. The second advantage it has is that Edo has a very unique land and ecology. You have swamp, you have riverine, you have rainforests, you have savanna. So there's nothing you cannot grow in Edo. Nothing, practically nothing. In addition to its very rich mineral reserves. But one unique feature which the state has is its gas reserves. Edo has the largest reserves of gas onshore. Yes, there might be more gas offshore, but at least onshore, Edo is very, very gas rich. And the gas can be accessed. Which the implication of that is that you can literally take a turbine to one of those gas fields and just stick it there and you generate electricity. Edo has such huge potential.
What we have done really is making sure that we have stable policies. At the time that we established the agency, it's established by law, and that again gave it that footing to be able to stand solidly to support businesses. And that is exactly what has happened in Edo State. And the governor, he is the chief investment officer, has done a whole lot in ensuring that this happens. Because one of the major criteria when businesses and investors come into a location, they look at the body language of the administration. They look at the body language of the governor. They look at if there's political will. All of this was in our favor in Edo State. Very recently, in the last 7 years, we have had over an additional 5,000 homes coming into Edo State. That wasn't there before now.
Furnace.
From outside.
Okay, if you want to see the furnace, we'll go that way.
The economy in the state witnessed unprecedented growth in the last 8 years. In 2016, the gross domestic products of the state stood at $10 billion, while on account of numerous reforms aimed at boosting productivity, the economy has grown to $26 billion in 2024, recording over 40% growth.
What has made the difference this last 7 years are the following. First, our ability to just install law and order. Second, to improve the business environment. Stop making government hostile. Make government a lot more friendly and attractive. As positioned as one that is willing to attract and accommodate investors and investments. And lastly, getting the civil service to behave differently. To understand that they are supposed to be the catalysts for attracting investment and attracting change. And part of the political challenges we have are all born out of this desire and intention to move Edo from where it used to be more to an investment destination.
The civil servant is an example of what the government is supposed to do. So when a citizen comes to do business with government, who he sees is the civil servant. He doesn't see the governor, doesn't see the deputy governor, doesn't see the SSG or the HOS or the officials of government, or even the commissioner. He sees the civil servant. And so the impression that interaction gives him as a citizen is the impression that he has of government. And so if a civil servant, in the course of relating with the citizen who comes to do business with government, treats him unfairly, or treats him shabbily, or exploits him, what he goes out to say, that is the citizen, is that the government of the day, not just the civil servant, is exploitative. That the government of the day is corrupt. That the government of the day does not regard him. And that is why the governor, understanding that the civil servant is the engine of government, decided to invest in him.
It shows that we care, and they see the passion in us being able to, work with them, and they see that we are concerned about their business genuinely. I do remember an investor once called me and said, oh, they had an issue in their premises and it had to do with taxes. I had to go there. And immediately the people saw that as the government were coming, they took off and found out that they were not even from government. So that gave that investor more confidence. As I speak to you, he has set up 2 other outlets in Edo State.
Today, Edo State is home to a number of major brands who are either setting up production facilities or fully established in Edo State. The launch of Edo State Oil Palm Program (ESOP) has also strengthened Edo State's status as Nigeria's oil palm hub, allocating over 100,000 hectares to investors. The project has drawn large investment, which has boosted economic growth and the creation of jobs.
Globally, the export market for oil palm is worth over $35 billion annually. So that tells you the export potentials for the commodity. We have the right climate for this commodity. In fact, we have within Edo South and part of Edo North, even Edo Central, as our oil palm belt, where we can grow this commodity without stress. The Governor, His Excellency Mr. Godwin Obaseki, had done quite a lot of work before coming to terms to say, okay, let us take this commodity very seriously. We have seen the increase in the state's internally generated revenues. We've also seen infrastructural development. Take, for instance, our oil palm in Wesi and its environs. We have seen communities being provided for.
When you look at job opportunities and you talk about job creation, that was the aim for us wanting to attract investors into Edo State. That if you look at the governor when we are outside Edo, he is a marketer. Markets Edo, ensures that he gives 100% guarantee to the investor that government will back their investment. And in the case that there are regulatory issues, we will support them also. When we look at the businesses that are coming, we're very critical. There are sectors we looked at very clearly that we know that could, boost job creation. One of them, agriculture, manufacturing, technology. Because Edo State, we have over 68% of our population as young people. So in that, we carefully chose the sectors that would attract investments into. And technology is one of them, knowing fully well that young people are very attracted to technology. So it has been a very good one for us in terms of how we have been able to, woo investors.
The Stella Obasanjo Hospital, which suffered many years of neglect, has been rebuilt and revamped to a world-class medical facility. This hospital, which easily ranks as one of the largest in South Nigeria, will boost medical tourism in our state. I thank the people of Edo for giving me the opportunity to serve these last 8 years. With the John Odigie Oyegu Public Service Academy, Edo State clearly leads in building capacity for its public and civil servants. thank the people of Edo for giving me the opportunity to serve these last 8 years. With the Victor Waifo Creative Hub, we now have the infrastructure to nurture creative talents in media, film, and music. I thank the people of Edo for giving me the opportunity to serve these last 8 years. The Benin Mall stands as a symbol of our commitment to provide retail and lifestyle experiences for our people in Edo State. I thank the people of Edo for giving me the opportunity to serve these last 8 years. To provide security and better serve the people of Edo State, we have established a command and control center. This command and control center, which is operational 24 hours, 7 days a week, deals with all forms of emergencies, including health emergency. If you have a crisis or an emergency, please call 112 or 739 because we're just a call away. I thank the people of Edo for giving me the opportunity to serve these last 8 years.
In Nigeria, the delicate balance of nature is under threat. The thriving furniture industry, while vital for economic growth, has left a lasting impact on our forests. But hope is on the horizon as one state governor embarks on an ambitious journey to restore what has been lost. Governor Godwin Obaseki, the leader committed to environmental sustainability in response to the alarming deforestation caused by timber harvesting, he has launched a massive tree planting campaign.
One of our major assets in Edo State is a forestry asset because we are in the rainforest. And we had to come in to put some regulation into how these assets were being exploited. There had been massive exploitation and massive degradation of our forestry assets. Edo State inherited about almost 600 plus thousand square kilometers of forest reserves. At the time we did our audits, we could barely find 300,000, square kilometers of forests left. That, by bringing in a forestry commission, we'll be able to now increase the amount of forests we have, and also conserve those areas that have not been encroached on. The next effect is that because of the investments we're making, we're seeing investors who are coming in, who are in the wood business, coming in to seek land to grow trees, particularly fast-growing trees, to support their businesses. And that's beginning to encourage and boost the furniture industry in the state.
The furniture makers and sawmillers acknowledge the governor's efforts in alleviating their challenges, seeing a brighter future for their industry.
He was able to create an enabling atmosphere for us to work as furniture people. That's number one. Then number two, when you talk about wood, it's time. The felling of timber. He told us that if they will not plant new ones, by the time the existing ones are gone, there will not be wood for us to use again. So he started by planting more trees. In Benin City today, we are having enough wood to use. Though you cannot satisfy everybody, but at least we are having enough wood to use. The plywood industry, they are here. Those ones came during his administration. So even the plywood those days, even as a furniture man those days, you know how it used to be. That you will cut wood, you start to carve, you saw, you sandpaper, you spray, all those strenuous work. It's not like that again now, since this administration.
When he came, he made a very good move about regeneration. Because the problem that we were facing before, we were just failing without replacement. So it got to a time. Do you believe that sometimes they fed timber in this place? So just like that, there was no replacement. And to find this tree was somehow now, it was almost gone. So he came up with a very good idea that we should come and sign MOU. That's the problem, because we were complaining that there's no wood. At the time we were called upon to come and buy bush. That was our excuse. So the governor said he understood that what is the problem. Then when we look at it, he said the major problem is because we are failing and no replacement. So he now said we should sign MOU. That's brought about regeneration. You understand? So we even came up with the idea of raising funds. The government is not sponsoring us. That's the truth of it. We, the sawmillers, for every load that we carry, we pay on 1,000 naira to do the replanting or the regeneration aspect of it. So to God be the glory, we have like my old zone now, at Igwabazoa, we have a regeneration farm.
Governor Obaseki's initiative goes beyond mere policies. A forestry commission is now in place to take charge of reforestation, engaging the local communities, fostering a sense of stewardship over the environment.
General Salute! Present!
pioneer chairman of the Edo State Forestry Commission, Edward Obial, says the initiative to establish the commission not only aims to replenish forests, but also nurtures future generations, instilling values of conservation and responsibility.
The approach that we have decided to do was that we decided to set up a plantation strategy to restore the degraded forest. And this strategy was commissioned by His Excellency in 2023 and going to run for the next 10 years. Now, the approaches or the strategies are that one, government will establish or lead the process in plantation establishment. Secondly, government will collaborate with the private sector to also establish private plantations. And then thirdly, we'll collaborate with communities because basically they lead in the forest degradation and deforestation. And for which reason, if you want to replenish what has been lost, you need to go back to them and then seek their opinion. So these three approaches have been adopted since 2023 with the target that every year we are to establish 1,000 hectares of forest plantation. It took off last year. So the three approaches, one is that government, through the Forestry Commission, will establish a plantation which will be for public use. Secondly, the private sector will establish a chunk of the plantation which will be for either the company's use and that of government. So we have a share in whatever is planted. Now, thirdly is the community, which is very, very key. Now, what His Excellency has done is that we should bring the communities which are situated right in the reserve or peripheries of the reserve into an agreement that will give them some land to farm and then replant those farms. Now, three key things are going to be achieved from that one. One is that timber will be available for these loggers. Secondly, the environment will be protected. And third, most important, there will be food security because everybody will have to eat. But this has to be done in a sustainable manner. So obviously, the farmers are deeply involved. We conscientize them. We set up forest nurseries with them. And then they plant up the areas that are earmarked for them. And then they have 3 years to stay on a piece of land. So every farmer is allocated 1 acre of land. And you have the option of either planting this year, next year, or a year after which you move to the next plot. So the idea is that His Excellency, Mr. Governor, doesn't want to dispossess the communities of their land. At the same time, he doesn't want them to degrade the land. So it's a win-win situation.
As Edo State embarks on this transformative journey, Governor Obaseki emphasizes the significance of unity in these efforts.
We had lost almost 2/3 of our forest reserves through illegal logging and expansion of dwellings. That led us to take certain actions. Principle amongst which was to first put in place some regulatory framework around our forestry assets. And that led to the creation of the Forestry Commission. First, to try and put some form or regulation into how we exploit our forestry assets and forestry reserves, to redesignate reserves that were left, to see how we can regrow or replant reserves that had been degraded, and for those that we couldn't do anything about, how to now use them for alternative uses. Like we did, we had to put some of the reserves into the oil palm program.
Third, Urunigwe plantation. The official planting of the first rubber tree by myself, the governor of Edo State,
Obaseki, Baba.
Obaseki, today, 6th of June, 2018, to the glory of God and to the people of Urunigwe, Edo State. Congratulations.
The Forestry Commission stands as a guardian of our natural heritage. With commitment and collaboration, the vision of a greener Edo State is becoming a reality. Together, they're not just planting trees, they're cultivating hope for generations to come.